Hi, welcome to today's slow flow. For today's practice, all you're gonna need is a block or shoebox. Thick, sturdy book will work just fine. And we're going to get started in a reclined position. You may want that block within reaching distance. You might use it, you might not. Make your way down to your back body, giving yourself a few moments here as you settle in. I like to start with my soles of the feet on the mat. Just shifting the hips side to side a bit. Maybe some small windshield wipers. Really taking your time as you settle into the slow flow. And we'll start with a reclined tree pose. So when you're ready, left leg extends long. Right sole of the foot comes either to that inner calf or inner thigh area, letting that right knee hang heavy towards the floor. Now we want to start nice and gentle. So if your right knee feels like it's a little too heavy or that doesn't feel comfortable on your right hip, bring the block under your knee to support you here. Giving yourself a handful of breaths, settling into this shape. Next breath. Bring that right knee to point up towards the sky. Left knee plants to the mat. Then right ankle rests on top of that left thigh. Reclined figure four, pressing that right knee away from your body. I want to encourage you today to keep your left sole of the foot on the mat. So we're focusing more on opening that right hip rather than lifting the foot for that hamstring stretch. Again, totally your choice though. If that would feel good in your body, you can add that in. But give yourself a handful of breaths here. All the way from your hips through your head, supported by the mat. Gently activating that right knee towards the top of the mat. Or bottom of the mat, I guess, however you're thinking about it. Away from your body. Give yourself a moment. And then release. Right sole of the foot extends. And then bring your left sole of the foot to either that inner calf or inner thigh area. Again, play around here. Maybe the block feels supportive under that knee. You might notice if your right hip really wants to lift off the mat, that's a good time to bring the block in to support you. Handful of breaths here. Enjoying some quiet and stillness with your body. Then bring the left sole of the foot to the mat, knee points to the sky, right sole of the foot comes to meet it, and bend your left knee so that left ankle rests on top of the right thigh. Reclined figure four. Left knee presses away from the body, activating that outer hip. Breathe here. One more cycle of breath. Then both soles of the feet come to the mat. Bringing your knees into your chest. Make your way to a seated position. You can either rock and roll or roll off to one side, however you choose to get there. Make your way all the way to a tabletop. So hands come under shoulders, knees under hips. On an inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, look up. Exhale, round your spine, press away from the mat. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, round the spine. Give yourself a few more rounds here, working at your pace of breath. Great time to add in any side stretches or other movement that feels good to warm up your back body. No right or wrong, as long as it feels good in your spine to warm up, you're doing it right here. Bring yourself back to a neutral spine with your next breath. Then walk your hands forward about a handprint. Tuck your toes and lift your hips for downward facing dog. Again, here, maybe you pedal out your dog or shift your hips side to side. Noticing you're pressing into both hands equally. Fingertips open wide like you're opening a pickle jar rather than squeeze together like Barbie fingers. Nice wide base. On an inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, find a half lift, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll go through that once more, taking a little more time. Inhale, arms reach up, you can look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, pause here. Thinking like an upside down L shape, elbows hug into your side body. Long legs as you press your sit bones back. Slight squeeze in the shoulder blades. Next breath, fold, hang heavy, bringing a real generous bend to those knees. You can even take opposite hand to opposite elbow here as you sway side to side. If the neck is feeling a little tight, you might add in some gentle shakes, yes or no. Next breath, release that grip. And then Urdhva Hastasana, reach all the way up towards the sky, nice and tall. Hands to heart center. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, arms reach up, you can look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Plant your hands and make your way back to a plank position. Pausing here and plank on the toes or the knees, wherever you feel stronger. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, lower down, elbows graze the ribs, untuck your toes. Inhale, lift your heart for baby cobra. So just the heart barely off the mat, maybe hands even hover. Exhale, lower back down. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, lift, tops of the feet press into the mat. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press up to your plank on toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, find a half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana or upward salute, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe in and out. Inhale, arms reach up, maybe a little back bend here if it feels good. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, make your way back to plank position, toes or knees. Again, where do you feel stronger? Inhale to press away. Exhale, lower down. Elbows graze the ribs, untuck your toes and take them a little wider so feet are towards the edges of the mat. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra. Just as high as feels good, keep the elbows soft. Exhale, lower back down. Do that twice more, tops of the feet pressing into the mat as you lift. Elbows are soft. Exhale, lower. Once more, lift. Heart pulls forward, elbows stay hugged in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press back up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Give yourself a handful of breaths here. You can stay in down dog. You can always take a tabletop if that feels better, or child's pose, a great way to open the hips, find a little ease in the body. Give yourself 2 more breaths wherever you choose to be. And if you're not in downward facing dog, slowly beginning to make your way back to that shape, taking any little pit stops along the way. Inhale, sweep your right leg towards the sky, pausing here in 3-legged dog, really lifting that right heel away from you. Full cycle of breath as you press into both hands. Then bring your right foot outside of right hand for lizard. Now you can pause right here, pressing away from the mat. Back thigh presses away from the mat. Then left foot steps outside of left hand, hips lower for malasana. You can always bring the block here under your hips if that feels better. Give yourself a breath. Then plant your hands, step left foot back, right foot back for down dog. Breathe in and out. Inhale, sweep left leg towards the sky, pausing in 3-legged dog. Right heel is heavy towards the floor as your left heel lifts. Thinking nice diagonal line of energy. Then left foot steps outside of left hand. Pause here in lizard. Back thigh presses towards the sky. Upper body is nice and strong. Slowly shift your right foot outside of right hand. Hips lower for malasana. Goal here is a nice tall spine. Weight towards the heels and blade edges of the feet. Then hands to the mat. Right foot steps back. Left foot comes to meet it. Breathe in and out. Inhale, sweep your right leg towards the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, warrior 2. Back foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Arms at shoulder height. Soft gaze over those front fingertips. Take a moment here to really press into the blade edges of both feet, helping to support you on the back body and also helping your front knee track towards that top right corner rather than hugging in or collapsing in. Inhale, straighten that front leg, hips reach back, fingertips forward. Exhale, triangle. Right arm reaches towards the floor, left arm towards the sky. Neither has to touch. Nice strong base here. Inhale, lift to reverse or peaceful triangle. Right arm comes overhead. Long line of energy from those toes to the fingertips. Hands come to shoulder height. Turn your toes to the long edge of the mat. Then wide leg forward fold. Pressing into both feet equally. You might take opposite hand to opposite elbow as you sway here. Maybe hands grip the calves or peace fingers around big toes if you want to pull more into the shape. And if it feels like your upper body could use a little support, bring that block under you to rest your hands there or rest your hands on the mat. Handful of breaths here. Allow your upper body to be nice and heavy. On an inhale, find a half lift, shoulders towards hip height. Then exhale, turn your toes, walk your hands back to the top of the mat for low lunge, and step right back to down dog. Breathe in and out. Inhale, sweep left leg towards the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, warrior 2 on the other side. So left toes point towards the top of the mat, Right toes point towards the long edge. Generous bend in that front knee. Press into the blade edges of both feet. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Hips reach back, fingertips forward. Triangle, right arm towards the floor, left arm towards the sky. Again, goal here is to keep the chest open, not as far down as we can reach. Some bodies that's available, but whatever height you need to be so your chest can stay open. Maybe your hands closer to your knee, maybe closer to your ankle or calf, maybe on the floor. Inhale, lift to reverse or peaceful triangle. Left arm comes overhead. Press into those left toes. Reach through the left fingertips. Then hands come to shoulder height. Turn your toes to long edge the mat. Wide leg forward fold. Same options here. You can take opposite hand to opposite elbow. Maybe you rest your hands on the block or mat. Gentle shakes of the head, yes or no. Goal here is a nice heavy upper body as we lengthen and stretch out that back of our leg, hamstrings all the way to calves, but feeling that support of your strong low body here. Give yourself 2 more cycles of breath. When that's complete, find an inhale, half lift. Exhale, turn your toes, walk your hands back to the top of the mat. Step right back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, find a half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe in and out. Inhale, arms reach up, you can look up. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips, knees nice and soft. Plant your hands, step just your left foot back. Warrior 2, so again, that back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. You may want to inch your front toes forward just a bit. Nice, low, and strong base here. On an inhale, right palm flips up, reach forward. Pausing here, we're engaging that core. Then as you're ready, scoop that energy back. Reverse warrior, right arm overhead, side stretch through the right side of the body. Next breath, right forearm comes to that thigh, left arm overhead. Again, open chest here. Left fingertips reaching as far as they can. Next breath back, come back to your strong warrior 2. Take a breath in and out. Cartwheel your hands to the mat, low lunge. Step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, maybe airplane arms, really engaging that back body. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back, warrior 2 on the other side. Back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. Nice long base here, maybe you inch your front toes forward. Shoulders are strong at shoulder height. Shoulders would always be at shoulder height. Arms are at shoulder height. Inhale, left palm flips up, reach forward. Pause there, engaging that core. Then bring the energy back. Left arm comes overhead, side stretch from left hips to the ribs to the fingertips. Left forearm to left thigh, extended side angle. Right arm reaches overhead. You can always reach this arm towards the floor. I tend to rest it on the thigh. Give yourself a moment. Then arms come back to shoulder height. Breathe in and out. Cartwheel your hands to the mat, low lunge. Step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, find a half lift, maybe airplane arms. Exhale, fold. Great time to take care that your block is somewhere within reaching distance towards the top of the mat. Once that's set up, inhale, reach all the way up towards the sky, as tall as you can be. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe in and out. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hips sink down and back for chair. Now we'll make our way towards the mat here. Coming as low as you can, lift your heels. Bit of a challenge. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to support you, knees down to the mat. No right or wrong, however you get here, we're standing on the knees. Back toes can be tucked or untucked, whichever is your preferred version. Bring the block behind you, between your heels. Adding in some camel pulses here. Take note and engage your glutes first. Right hand comes to the block as your left arm reaches overhead, pressing those hips forward. Then when you feel ready, left arm comes to the block, right arm reaches as your hips press forward. Give yourself a few more rounds of these pulses. If you'd prefer a deeper back bend, you can lower the level of the block or release the block completely. If full camel's in your practice and you'd like to add that in here, you are more than welcome to. Just about 2 more cycles of breath, wherever you choose to be or the version that you're taking with this pose. Pause when you're even on either side, hands at your hips, glutes and core engaged. Take a breath in and out. Release that block before you take a seat behind you. Heels out from under you. Soles of the feet pressed together. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Pull the heels away from your body so you've got some space. Exhale, hinge forward, and then round forward into the seated star forward fold. Knees are heavy towards the outside of the mat. Head hangs heavy, chin hugging towards the chest. Allowing your body to soften into the shape. Even imagining each inhale and exhale helps you to fold just the tiniest bit deeper into this shape. Slowly begin to press your upper body out of the shape and make your way to an easy seat, whichever leg you prefer in front. And if that block's available, you may even want to sit up on that block. Just a slightly different version, but it gives our hips a little more rest, feels a little less compression-y, which is the technical term. On an inhale, twist towards your right. Right hand reaches behind you, left hand anchors outside that knee. If your right fingertips don't reach the floor here, you can rest them on your low back. Letting that twist come from your right shoulder, pulling back. Nice tall spine. Then other side, unwind. Right hand outside a left knee. Left hand props up behind you or rests on low back. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, left shoulder pulls back. One more cycle of breath. Then come back to center. Switching out the leg that you have in front. We'll close out from here. You're welcome to stay here, or if you'd prefer some time in Shavasana, make your way to your back. Eyes softer closed. If you're seated, notice your heart stacking over your hips, head over your heart. Nice tall spine. Slight squeeze in the shoulder blades. Even sliding your hands a little further back on your thighs so that your upper arms are in line with your side body. Give yourself a handful of breaths here. You can take as much time as you'd need in either of the shapes. When you're ready to close out, start to bring a little movement. Maybe you're dropping your right ear towards your right shoulder. Then gaze down towards your lap. Left ear towards left shoulder. Gaze down towards your lap. Lift your gaze all the way up towards the sky. Nose points towards the ceiling. Then come back to neutral. Take a breath in through your nose. Out your mouth. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thanks for being part of this rad community, and I hope the rest of your day is absolutely stellar.